In this video, I'll help answer the question, is Intuit stock a good buy, hold, or sell? I'll touch on 4 things. Number 1, how does Intuit make money? Number 2, what's the latest news on Intuit? Number 3, what are the latest ratings in Tykr? And number 4, I'll let you know what I plan on doing with this stock. And just so you know, if you want to see the latest ratings on Intuit and other stocks in the market, you can join Tykr for free. All right, let's get to it. So how does Intuit make money? Well, they really have 4 main product lines, 3 of which are revenue generators. So you've got TurboTax, that's a moneymaker. You've got Credit Karma, that's a free tool, really a credit monitoring tool, bringing people into the ecosystem. I really like businesses that have multiple streams of revenue, but one that's really dedicated to bringing a lot of people into the ecosystem, even if it's for free, because then you can upsell or cross-sell those leads. So that's Credit Karma, credit monitoring software. Then you got QuickBooks, great for bookkeeping. That's a SaaS product. And then you got Mailchimp, which is also a SaaS product. Let's go layer deeper. I'll give you some of the numbers here and what they're charging. This is just really good to know from a scalability standpoint. All right, so TurboTax, so you know, it's not really a SaaS product. They charge for federal returns once a year. It's like $0 to $99, give or take. State returns are somewhere between $39 and $49. And then they do have prices that go to like $150 and beyond. That's if you want help from a human. But essentially, if you want to do taxes on your own, you can use the software. Or if you want to use the software and get a little help from a human, you can do that as well. But keep in mind, it's not like a reoccurring, like monthly revenue stream. It's like a once a year. And you're going to see, or I'm going to show you the financial statements here in a second. You're going to see these blips on the radar that kind of correlate to that product. All right. Next revenue stream, or actually it's not, which is that Credit Karma. I mentioned that's great for bringing people into the ecosystem. You can upsell from there to other products. So Credit Karma, just credit monitoring. Next up, third revenue stream, QuickBooks. I mentioned a SaaS product. Bookkeeping, great for small and mid-sized businesses. Prices start at about $19 a month. They go up to, I see here, tiers on their pricing page go to about $137 a month and beyond. I'm sure prices can scale up from there, but a great product, creating that monthly reoccurring revenue stream. All right, Mailchimp, they acquired Mailchimp in the last few years. They have a free tier. Most people don't stay in the free tier too long. They start at $20 a month. And then I have talked to businesses that are using Mailchimp for email marketing, and some are paying, we're talking 5 figures a month, 6 figures a month. I mean, highly, highly scalable email marketing platform, powerful tool, and it is a key revenue generator to the overall business of Intuit. All right, so that's really the 4 main ways, or really 3 main ways they make money. All right, let's move on to the latest news. A few fun highlights here to pay attention to. So the first thing is not too exciting, but it really gives context on the volatility in the market. Yes, Intuit is experiencing that as we speak. So if you're an investor in Intuit, don't freak out. It's just the nature of the beast. And the key driver here is really driven by AI. There's a lot of questions out there like, is AI going to take jobs away? Is it going to cause major disruption in businesses? I'm looking at Intuit, and I only see AI really helping Intuit. Like, for example, the tax solutions, it can organize data faster. It can make a better experience for the end user. I'm looking at QuickBooks, same thing, can probably make the experience better for the end user. And then the same thing at Mailchimp side. So I really don't see AI taking any revenue streams away from Intuit. So why the pullback is happening is just, again, don't freak out. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. All right, next up here, this is kind of exciting. So looking at Tykr, the share price is around, as of the recording of this video, $545. The fair value in Tykr is $995. Well, I do appreciate when I see large institutions aligning with Tykr. We can see that Morgan Stanley has raised the price target to over $1,000. So that is a vote of confidence for investors out there. All right, next up, this is pretty cool. So they partnered with a product called Checker. And what it does is it's a background checking software that's kind of bolting onto QuickBooks Payroll. So that's going to create a better product offering and might even generate more leads for QuickBooks and, of course, Intuit overall. So I think that's a really smart choice in that partnership. And then this is pretty cool. They have a career pipeline program. Their goal is to upskill 1 million students in accounting over the next 5 years. I think that is a great idea. Now I have to talk about accounting here as well as financial planning and wealth advisory. And the statistics are showing that Gen Z is not getting excited about accounting jobs or financial advisory or wealth management. And the reason is it's just on the surface, it's not really a glamorous career. It can be a very stable career. It can be quite lucrative, especially in wealth management. management, sure, right away, maybe not as much, but as you build up a book of business, I mean, you can create a great lifestyle business and a business that makes a lot of money. Well, with accounting, sure, you're going to have your busy season, especially at the beginning of the year, all the way through tax season. We're talking like January 1st through like April. That's when things are really heavy for CPAs, but they have their slow times of the year as well. And again, it can be a very stable career. Why Gen Z isn't showing interest just blows my mind. Maybe they'll gravitate towards it, but I really like that Intuit is starting to introduce a lot more students to the career as an accountant. And guess what? In most cases, if not all, maybe you got 1 million students, guess what products they're going to use? Probably QuickBooks and TurboTax. All right, so that's the latest news. Let's jump into Tykr and see what we're looking at. So we're going to use the 7. This is the 7 key steps to know the difference between a strong stock and a weak stock. We're not going to click on the 7 right now. We're going to do this manually. And I always say this, if you're curious, you can go to tykr.com. Go to education and then down to calculations. You can see the open source calculations on these ratings. We do not have a black box here at Tykr. We just want to be transparent so you know, like, hey, how are these ratings achieved? So let's get started. The first thing we're looking for is that summary. You can see stocks in Tykr are either on sale, watch, overpriced. That's green, gray, or red, similar to a traffic light. And we can see that Intuit is a watch. They're not actually on sale. To get to on sale, you need a score here in the hexagon, a score 50 or higher. That's the overall financial strength of a stock. We're looking at revenue growth rates, net income, EPS, free cash, and we can see here 83 is outstanding. However, we also want to see a 50% or higher on the margin of safety, and we see a 45% here. That's still pretty good. I mean, they're right there with on sale, very close, but because this is at 45%, they're at a watch. Then in the middle, getting to the 4M confidence booster, you want to see a score of 80 or higher, and we saw an 81, but this is how it breaks down. So you've got the math part, then you get the meaning, that's how the business makes money and how scalable the revenue streams are. Then you have the moat, how the business compares to other businesses in the same sector and industry. And then you have the management, that's the track record of the CEO. Now, doing homework on this could take you hours, if not days of research on your own. With Tykr, you can figure out the score in seconds. Of course, you can go through the 4M experience. It takes like a minute or two, but we're using the average scores of Tykr customers, and we can see they're at an 81. And that is actually very hard to achieve. So things are looking pretty good so far. Let's keep going. Next up, we look at the 5-year chart. I like to set my charts to 5 years. You can do that in your settings. And we like businesses that consistently beat the market. The S&P 500 has returned about 80% over 5 years. In this case, we see 50%. So Intuit's not even keeping up with the market. Very, very interesting. So jumping over to financials, I have this on quarterly, and you can see these big spikes in history. We see April. We see April. Well, that's tax season. Everybody last minute putting in their taxes. So TurboTax is getting this big spike in revenue, but it's not a SaaS product with that monthly revenue stream. It doesn't need to be, but to me, that's a little bit of a frustration with the business. I'd like to see this line consistently increasing, not these big spikes. And sure, you get a big cash injection, but I would like to see more acquisitions of Intuit to create more of a steady revenue stream over time instead of these big spikes. It tells you like how much revenue is generated from TurboTax. It's crazy. All right, but the number one line to pay attention to is actually the EPS, earnings per share. And in this case, same situation. You get these big spikes. It's creating a lot of profit margin, but over time, it's not consistent. That does not excite a lot of institutional investors, those large financial institutions. They want to see that consistent increase, not these big spikes over time. And that's a key reason why the share price has returned about 50% over 5 years compared to the S&P 500, which is 80%. So if I were the CEO of Intuit, one thing I'd be thinking about is like, hey, how can we add more SaaS revenue streams that complement TurboTax, that complement QuickBooks, that complement Mailchimp to kind of create this nice steady increase in revenue, because that is going to excite a lot of institutions. And if you can do that and you see the profits increasing, then we should see that share price take off like a rocket. But right now, just how they're set up with their business model, it's just these spikes. It's not doing themselves any favors, which is why that share price really hasn't taken off. All right, there's one more line to pay attention to, earnings calendar. We want to see stocks consistently beating their earnings estimates. And we can see here that Intuit is doing exactly that. In fact, check this out. We're going back in history, back to their last miss was 2022. Wow. Outstanding job, Intuit. So overall, I think they're going to get a 3 out of 7. Let's see. 3 out of 7. There you go. So we can see here, this little note says we're looking for a 5 out of 7 minimum to have confidence. I have this stock on my watch list. I really like Intuit and their products, but for me at this point, is it an investable company? My answer to that as well. You know what? Again, I'd like to see the leaders over there. Let's start acquiring a few other businesses and kind of smooth out those numbers. So we see not only that revenue, but that EPS instead of these spikes up and down. So we see that smooth number, that smooth increase that should correlate to more confidence, which will drive this share price up higher. Like, let's take that 50%, turn it into like 500% over 5 years. No guarantees there, but just what I could see happening. Of course, if you want to see the ratings on this stock and more, you can join Tykr for free. Thanks for staying to the end. Please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Referrals from friends are one of the best ways to build a business. And of course, don't buy and sell stocks based solely on what you hear. Only buy and sell stocks that align with your own personal financial goals. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.